guys, welcome back to my channel. I live on a fairly busy street, so I hope no one walks past my house, otherwise they're going to see me filming in my car. Anyway, today's video is a disgusting, gross, clean my car with me video. I'm going to be completely real with you and show you what my car looks like. It's gross. I've done these videos in the past and they're horrendous because I have 4 children and it is impossible to keep my car clean. So I'm going to show you all of the dirty parts of it, but also I'm going to attempt to Bissell my seats in my car. So if you don't know what Bissell is, it's like a spot cleaner. So I'll show you the process of that. And I have no doubt that the water that comes out of the Bissell is going to be foul. Let's get into it. As you can see, my front seat is always super cluttered. I always just dump my stuff there. There is bread, sandwiches, leaves, dirt, sand, snacks, empty packets of snacks, drink bottles, you name it, it's on my floor. The seats are also really gross and I'm really excited to Bissell them. They actually looked like this when we got the car, to be honest with you, so I am so excited to clean it up. And yep, just rubbish everywhere. As you can see, this is just my dumping ground for stuff. I always start the cleaning process for my car with a bag for rubbish and a bag for all of the items that I need to take into the house that should not be in the car, such as jackets or toys or things like that. I find that this is the easiest way to clean my car, and I've got it down to an art now where it's just a simple process. I know what I'm doing and I get it done. When it comes to my bag that I'm putting items in that I want to keep, like my shoes and jackets and things like that, I find myself needing to take this inside and empty it out a few times throughout the cleaning process, just because I have so much stuff in my car that just gets dumped there and not removed. And as you can see, there's just pretzels falling everywhere and just rubbish, and this is just what my car looks like generally. So before I can vacuum the floors in the car, I need to obviously remove all of the big chunks of food and leaves and stuff that the vacuum is not going to be able to get, and obviously the rubbish that's all over the floor. The fact that I have sandwiches on my floor is, I understand it's gross, but my 2-year-old's at the age where she doesn't quite understand that food doesn't go on the floor. When you're finished with something and there's still some left, you don't just chuck it on the floor. Well, maybe you do. Who am I to tell her how to live her life? The older kids in the back generally just dump their rubbish and toys and stuff in their cup holders, and because it's the 3rd row of the car, it generally is just forgotten. I forget it exists, and sometimes it gets really bad back here. For example, this is a piece of bread, and it is hard as a rock. I don't even know how long this has been in here for. It's a Nutella sandwich. Guys, don't judge me for what you're about to see, please. Or do, I don't really care, but one of the kids left an apple in the back seat here in the cup holder, and I didn't even know. And how gross is this? It's all rotted and disgusting. Yep, this is my car. And just when you thought the apple core was bad, I found a band-aid with part of a muesli bar stuck to it. A used band-aid. Well, now that I've removed all of the rubbish and the toys and the apple cores and the dirty band-aids and the sandwiches from my car, I can vacuum the floors now. However, before I do that, I like to wipe down my dash here because it always gets covered in dust so easily. Within a few days, it's covered in dust. So I wipe it down pretty frequently, but I don't want to go vacuuming and then stir dust up all through the car and undo my hard work. So I'm going to wipe down my steering wheel and my dash first to get all the dust off it, and then I'm going to vacuum the car. This is just a microfiber cloth. I think I may have gotten it from Super Cheap actually. And just as I was putting my microfiber cloth away, yes, that's a nappy in my glove box, we keep a spare one in there just in case, I found a bunch more rubbish down the side of the seats, which I missed apparently when I was cleaning out the first time. And there's a face mask and a sock, which I did not know was down there. Gonna clean both of those. Now I can finally start vacuuming the floors. The front honestly wasn't as bad as the back, obviously, because the adults are at the front, but it still needed a quick vacuum. Now I'm just going to go in with my vacuum and vacuum the middle console because it really needed it. I also go in later with a disinfectant wipe because it also needed that. However, I could not get these cup holders clean. They don't come out, so if you have any tips, please let me know. Now I'm just going to go in with my vacuum. Obviously, this is the big head of the vacuum. I go in later with a smaller one to reach all of the small places that need to be reached. But I thought I'd just get the bulk of what's in the big spaces vacuumed up with this, the big head of the Dyson vacuum. Every time I do one of these videos, people ask me what vacuum I'm using, and it's the Dyson V7 Animal. It's quite an old one, and I don't know if I would recommend it, to be honest with you. I think it is a good vacuum, but it needs to be upkeeped. Like, you're supposed to clean the filters and stuff out of it, which honestly I just never do, so that it's my fault. It's a good vacuum, I just don't maintain it the way that I should. Now I'm going to try and vacuum up this sand here. It's been here for weeks. Now that Evie goes to daycare once a week, she loves to play in the sand pit that they have there, and she always comes home with her shoes just full of sand and then empties it in the back seat. So here's me trying to vacuum up all of the sand. It's not perfect, but it's better than it was. Now I'm just going to vacuum the aisle, which needs to be done with this little one because the big head doesn't fit down here. This is actually where the 8th seat goes in the car. There's actually 8 seats in this car. But we took the middle one out because we, number one, don't need it, and number two, it's easier for the kids to access the back of the car. Once we'd taken it out, we created an aisle instead of having to flip the middle seats forward, which we couldn't do because we had car seats in them anyway. So that's what I love about this car. It just fits our family. And this is the end result of vacuuming our car. It's disgusting and gross. I'm just going to empty it into the bin. Number one, so you can see how much there is in it. And number two, because I don't want that gross stuff just sitting... How gross is that? Just sitting inside my vacuum. Now for my favorite part of this entire process, and that is bisselling the seats of the car. Because like I said before, honestly, I'm not just saying this, they did look like this when we got the car. They came dirty. I think that's why the car was quite discounted. I don't know why on earth the dealership couldn't just bissel the chairs and make them look presentable themselves, but it is what it is. It worked out in our favor because we got it at a discounted price. But as you can see how dirty that water is going up there, I go over it a few times to try and make it not so gross, but just, yeah, the brownness of that water just goes to show how much these seats needed to be bisseled, and I'm so incredibly glad that I went through and did it. I'm about to go over the chair for the 3rd time, and that's the color of the water still. I didn't have enough product within the Bissell to do it a 4th time because I wanted to get most of the seats done. Honestly, I could watch Bissell cleaning all day long. I'm going to just tackle the back seats now. This is the 3rd row of seats. And honestly, the back seats weren't as bad as the middle seats, which surprised me. Oh, I guess not, because I guess the smaller kids sat in the middle seats for a lot longer. The bigger kids used to be in the back seats, but we've kind of swapped it over a little bit now. So I'm just tackling the back seats, and yeah, they ended up coming up really nicely, considering the back seats weren't that dirty to begin with. Now this makes me really sad. This chair that this car seat is on is honestly the dirtiest out of all of the chairs, but I can't get to it because the car seat's on it, and I do not trust myself to be able to put the car seat back on, and Luke is at work right now, so I kind of gave up on that one, and I'll do it another day when Luke can take it off and pop it back on for me. This is the passenger seat here, and it actually wasn't as dirty as I was expecting it to be. The driver's front seat was dirtier than this one was. I did try a little small patch of carpet here, trying to bissel that, but nothing really happened. I think the carpet was just like soaking up the water because of the material it's made of. It wasn't really doing much, so I gave up pretty quickly. This part here is something that I don't usually do when I'm cleaning my car, as you can clearly tell by how bad it is. This is just a disinfectant wipe, and I'm just taking it to the middle console here because it was really dirty and dusty and grimy and had stuff all over it. Like I said earlier, these cup holders I just could not get clean. I don't even know what that is in the bottom of it. I honestly don't even know what to do there. I am, however, really happy with how this middle console turned out. Just this little rectangle part here, it cleaned up much nicer than I thought it was going to. And here is what came out of the car seats. The dirty water that the Bissell managed to pull out of the car seats, it's so disgusting. It's literally almost black. here is the finished product, the before and afters of each section of the car. I'm sorry they're not from the right angles. I didn't really think it through when filming, but I actually had so much fun cleaning out the car, even though it was all sweaty by the end of it. I had so much fun. The end result was so incredibly worth it. It's amazing what a quick vacuum can do to the look of your car. This seat, I didn't realize how bad it was until I was editing this and looked back at the before. The Bissell took out so many of those stains. I'm very impressed with it. Same with the back seats. Didn't realize how bad it was until after I looked at the footage at the end of it. Well, if you thought I looked bad before, it is so hot today. I'm sorry if a truck drives past, one drives past literally every 10 seconds down our street past our house. There's nothing I can do about it. But it's not perfect, but it's as good as I could get with the time and the things that I have, resources that I have. It is so hot today. It's like 30 something, 30, maybe it feels like about 32 degrees Celsius. It's in the middle of summer, so it's really, really hot, but it's perfect to Bissell the car because I can leave the doors open and they will dry before the school pickup. So that is good news. Thank you so much for watching this video. And there's a truck that's going by again. This video was actually suggested by one of you guys when you saw how disgusting my car is. It was either in a vlog or over on Instagram. So let me know if you have any other content ideas that you guys want to see from me. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!